Hey guys, my name is Nora Franch, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at CatholicMindsetCoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessed Mess Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. We are reading from Voices of Recovery, page 237. The reading for August 24th. We ask and we receive, first the willingness and then the ability. We can count on this without fail. That is from the OA 12 and 12, page 23. The first time someone in OA suggested that I needed to pray for willingness, I thought they were crazy. I was overweight, had tried many diets, and hated myself. How could I not be willing to be thin? Then I began observing my behavior. I prayed for God to keep me from eating my binge foods. I ate food that had fallen into the trash. I ate food that I knew was addictive. Then came the realization. I was not willing. Okay, God, now I am willing to pray for the willingness. Praying for willingness has made a difference. The ability came slowly as I became willing to find a healthy way of eating. It came as I became willing to want to reach out and ask for help with my isolation. It came as I became willing to humble myself and surrender my powerlessness over food. It came as I worked the program one day at a time. Yeah. Wow. I love this. That realization that I'm not willing, that if I really look at my actions and behaviors, that is not someone who is willing. And that is hard and humbling and something where it's like, oh gosh, some cool quote is like at the tip of my tongue. It's like in my brain, but it's not coming. Like, something, something, something. And that person is you. If anyone knows what I'm quoting, please tell me. It's that, we think on the surface level, it's like, of course I want to be better. Of course I want to be better. I'm miserable. I hate this. But then if you really look at yourself, you're not actually, that's like a desire. Like you want to want something, but that's not the same as wanting it. And it's really important to get clear on that because then we just keep kidding ourselves. And we tell ourselves that, whatever something is, it's not working because I'm not getting any better. And I think a lot of people newer to program or in program for a long time, I think a lot of people who are slipping and sliding with abstinence or getting stuck in the steps, I think that they struggle with this, that they want the end result, but they don't want the psychic change, the character transformation. I'm not saying that everybody wants it who gets it, but I think there has to be a willingness to be open to the possibility that that may be required and that you may not be doing that. And I think that that's my story. I think that I thought I wanted to be well, but then something would happen and I would go to my behaviors. And so really at the end of the day, when I'm looking at it, it's like, that's not someone who wants to be well. Now, granted, there is like that chemical side of addiction, which is real. I'm not going to minimize that. But There are actions that we can take even if that chemical addiction is like roaring. And I'm not saying that if you're slipping and sliding or losing or relapsing, that means that you're not trying. But if you are someone who's saying that this program isn't for you, that it's not working, it's just not the right fit, I challenge you to kind of look at this. Are you willing to make drastic changes, or do you just want the end result? And quite honestly, I think another thing that really held me back, and that probably holds a lot of people back in this, is that I didn't know that I wasn't actually willing. I was believing that top level like lie to myself that, yeah, look at all these things I'm doing. And I think they comment on that in, there is a solution. Those who do not have the capacity to be honest with themselves will not get better with this program. And there are those unfortunates. Those people do exist. And I think I was kind of one of them for a while. I needed to be cracked open a little bit by other methods to finally see where it was that I was being dishonest with myself without even knowing it. And that can really help by looking at your actions. That silly phrase, actions speak louder than words. Actions come from an interior belief system. And I think that emotion of willingness, it comes from a thought, a belief that we have about our ability or about, if program can help us. Every action is motivated from an emotion, and we want this emotion of willingness. So this is where that thought work really comes into play. What are the thoughts that I'm actually thinking that are leading me to unwillingness and dishonesty, or actions incongruent with my top layer, like pretty desire, like I want to be well, but I don't know if I have what it takes to do the work, or I don't want to do the work, or the work just seems really tough and scary and overwhelming, so I'm just going to go back over here. And so I hope this isn't coming across as kind of too heavy-handed. I have a lot of compassion for this, but I think it requires a bit of a calling out in saying that sometimes we don't know that we are lying to ourselves, and we don't know that we are believing ourselves when we lie to ourselves. And that is where another person who is not you can be extremely valuable in helping you get to the root of why you keep doing what you don't want to do, even though you want something different. So I love you. You who are struggling, you who don't know you are lying to yourselves. I love you so much. And that is why I have a heart to want to help people who are stuck in that way in the most loving and gentle way possible, because I'm a super sensitive softie. And if someone is harsh to me, I will crumble, die, and I'll never come back. And I would rather, live in a hellhole than pretend like I'm comfortable around you. Anyway, so with a heart full of love, I beg you or implore you, ask you, challenge you, encourage you to try to look into this a little bit. And if you see yourself doing something that you just don't understand, reach out to me and tell me what it is, and maybe we can work through the thoughts and belief systems that are behind it that are actually contributing to your pain. With that, I pass.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. But more than that, it's important to me to give listeners like yourself a place where you do not need to feel alone on your 12-step journey. And for that reason, I've created a Facebook group. It's called Grateful Blessed Mess. And it's a place where listeners can go to add their own commentary on the share for the day, in addition to my own, and for us just to have a conversation or start a back and forth where people can find support in their 12-step journey. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you are here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess. And I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.